welcome to another episode of The Diplomats, brought to you by diplomacybriefing.com, and our latest look at one of the semi-finals from which our finalists in Nexus Season 7 emerged. I'm Wardy, and I'm joined by Eric Grinnell. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello, everybody. We're still not going to have a look at Jordan's game, are we? We're having a look at semi-final F, which is Tarsia or Spencer.
Hey, I mean, I'd have preferred to have done them in the proper order, but
Yeah.
Jordan respectfully asked us to do him last.
Our hands are tied.
I'm a very, very accommodating guy. I'm happy to help Jordan out. Whatever it takes for him to enjoy the process.
We are merely public servants. What can we do?
You're a public servant. I'm a contractor. Hitler eyes. Hitler eyes. We got Hitler eyes in that photo.
Oh, yeah, he's back. But we're actually looking at the chap on the left. Experienced player Tarsia, depicted here as by Lady Razor as Ewok's dad. Despite being slightly younger, did well enough in Season 6 to get a bye into the semi-finals as the number 9 seed. This
I just
was
want to say
his...
up front, Spencer would never button his cardigan incorrectly. He's a very precise gentleman.
I don't know if the buttons it's buttoned incorrectly or whether it's just tailored really poorly. I don't know. Just longer on the left.
He wouldn't know a poorly tailored one either. So.
Yeah, this was Tarsia's first appearance in the Nexus main event finals, having narrowly missed out last time around. So let's have a look at how he made it through his semi-final. And he was in semi-final F, which was named for Ferrari, or at least was linked with the Ferrari stocks for endgame purposes. And he was playing as Austria and was joined by Messi in England, Pez de Mer in France, Goldfinger in Germany, Zero Tolerance in Italy, Sabi Ahuja in Russia, and Minions in Turkey. There are some really good players on this board. This is
Some
not
of the players on this board are very good, yes.
I'm not familiar with Minions. I think I've come across Zero Tolerance briefly. Sabi's great, particularly virtual, but he's been doing really well in press. Pez and Goldfinger are really, really experienced and accomplished players, and Messi, I think Bradley was saying Messi had soloed in the prelims.
Messi is one of the best players in the game.
Been doing really well, yeah. So let's have a look. The unusual bounce in Trieste. That could be arranged, but it might just be Austria sniffing out a sneak into Trieste from Italy. What do you think?
Could be either one. If it were arranged, it would have been at Italy's insistence. I think Austria tends to prefer to bounce Galicia.
Yeah.
But, if Italy said, hey, you don't have to bounce me, but I'm going, if you don't want him in, you don't want him in. I think it was really unfortunate, and it's amazing because, we're here covering Tarsia's board top and advance to the finals. So we there's a little bit of spoiler involved here, but you look at the fall, there's an NMR, and he survived it and went on to do well anyway. So You know, that Serbia supports Albania to Greece, Albania
A
holds.
misorder of, oh dear. Oh, well,
That was
yeah.
probably thought he pressed Greece when actually he pressed Albania. You know, that little screen, that typical backstabber kind of misorder.
Not the
So
only person to misorder here, because look at Italy. Convoys Apulia to Tunis only doesn't.
he wrote the convoy order wrong. My oh
Yeah, he
my.
tried to convoy Venice. Oh no, sorry. Apulia to Ionian. Yeah.
Yeah. Fat fingers. Fat fingers.
Yeah. Oh, I know about that. Interesting.
But
What he will be happy about.
you see the letting Russia into Galicia pay off.
Yeah,
because
it's the fleet.
He puts the fleet into Romania. And you'll see this is a theme throughout the game. This AR lasts for a very long time. And this AR is why Spencer wins this game.
I think if you're gunning for a game-long alliance, Sabi is a good partner because they don't tend to be very stabby. The only thing with like the Care Bear end of the spectrum with players, it's great to be their ally. You've just got to make sure that you are their ally, and you're not like some disposable secondary ally, shall we say. Still a one build for Austria. Puts
but
it
no
in.
build for Italy. Wow.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Or fortunate, depending on how you're looking at things. Yeah. Sabi built a second fleet in Sev, and Russia built a second fleet in Ankara. So if the hamstrung AI that's playing 2 units short can get their act together quickly, they can really capitalize on this. But it'll be interesting to see if things can play that way when obviously Austria and Russia have invested in some trust in one another. Italy's got something to worry about. France built Fleet Marseille.
Yeah, everything's got a bit of a knock on here around the
blood in the water, zero build Italy, and a fleet in Marseille. I think Venice is going to have to go to Piedmont.
Unlikely if this AR is unlikely by the looks of it to have any trouble from Germany because we've got Fleet North Coast suggests that Russia at least has got Germany on side, and if Russia's with Austria, then
Russia may think he's got Germany on side, but Germany's in perfect position to move to Prussia, Silesia, and Baltic. So it's a little bit of a hold your breath kind of moment. A little bit. That North Coast build is kind of dangerous in this situation because England could go Eddie to Norwegian, Norway to Barents, North Convoy, London to Norway, Denmark cuts Sweden, sends Kiel to Baltic, Berlin to Prussia, Munich to Silesia. Russia's actually very exposed here, very exposed.
It's a gamble, right? It's a gamble.
This is looking a lot like a Western triple. It
could be, although
it would be a Western triple played with a reckless Germany.
Yeah, because you'd want to see Army Kiel, right? If you're England and France. Well, if you're England particularly.
With Russia having 2 builds coming, there's nothing wrong with a fleet build in Kiel now.
Well, yeah, I'm completely wrong. Kiel into Baltic, Denmark.
He didn't go to Prussia, Silesia, though. He's setting himself up. See what he's done here. Germany's allied himself with Russia. He's gonna cut North Sea, and he's gonna take Belgium. Berlin can cut Burgundy. And Denmark can cut north. And meanwhile, Russia is going to be left to take, well, he can't take Norway because Norwegian could support Norway. So, it'd be interesting. I mean, Germany can't fight England and Russia at the same time. Germany can't fight
Norway
England and
offer
Russia
support here for Denmark to Sweden.
Excuse me?
Norway didn't offer support here for Denmark to Sweden.
So things are a little muddy over there. Austria went ahead and went on offense against Italy. Russia backed off and gave him the room, also supported him to Bulgaria. It's really telling. Wow. Really, really telling. You know darn well Turkey's going to go for Black Sea. He built a second fleet. Sabine saw the cuts coming. He knew he was going to cut Sev and Bulgaria was going to cut Rum. So trying to keep Turkey out of black was not going to be successful. Sabine saw that, did the exact right thing, and pulled the rug out from under him, supported Austria into Bulgaria. That was 100% the right move to make, based on assumed Turkish full-bore hostility. So real shame of it is Italy was bought into the AI. Italy was bought into the AI, and Austria's like,
yeah,
no,
the Ionian to
I just want to take
Aegean.
a shot at Venice. So it'll be interesting now to see whether or not Marseille cuts Piedmont so that Austria can actually take Venice or not. It'll be interesting to see. I would hope to see Aegean go back to Ionian. I'd hope to see Aegean go back to Ionian. That move to Tyrol is kind of a, well, ironically enough, given what part of the map we're looking at, but that's kind of like crossing the Rubicon. So actually the Rubicon River might be the border between Tyrolia and Venice. That would be fat. I'm going to look that up.
Was there a risk here of Turkey letting Fleet Sev into black and letting Armenia get it? Oh no, that's why
Ukraine and Moscow, Galician and Ukraine got it covered.
Pretty astute.
Sabi's got that covered.
So Austria could be going up 3, potentially, if France helps.
If France will cut P for him, yeah, but I don't know if France would cut Piedmont when he knows Austria is already getting 2 other builds. That would be wow.
Yeah.
Let's see the rest of it.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Don't look at that.
Yeah.
You want to look at?
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Brilliant moves out of Messi. I love what he did there. He didn't support Norway hold. He did Norway supports London to Norway via convoy while using Norway to bounce him out of St. Pete's.
It couldn't be cooked.
That was very, very smart. His other option was he could have used Norwegian to support Norway to hold and then bounce Germany out of Skagerrak, but he didn't do that. So, England facing Germany and Russia unified as enemies on a map that looks like this, you're gonna have a hard time. You can't cover everything. So Messi just did a good job buying time. That's all you can really do there.
Yeah, at least
if I were France here, I wouldn't have tried to support Belgium. I would have known that Belgium was going away. I would have done Burgundy to Ruhr. Paris supports Marseille to Burgundy, Marseille to Burgundy. Although with Italy and Piedmont, I guess Marseille, maybe he couldn't have done that.
Yeah, but Italy was always going to support
Venice, I would think. But he could have just as easily have done Burgundy to Ruhr, Paris to Burgundy. But just sitting there and writing support that is going to be cut, I don't agree with that. But that shows the beginning of a lot of wasted moves by Pez in this game, and we'll see those as we go on. I'm sure that there's diplomacy behind all of it, but we don't get to hear the diplomacy. We just get to see the moves and the end result. And you're going to see a lot of wasted energy and momentum by Pez, and it's going to hurt him at the end of the game.
That's unusual for Pez, right?
Excuse me?
That's unusual for Pez. Pez is a pretty top-level player. You expect him to be a bit more astute.
I respect David more than I respect any other player in the hobby. So I'll have nothing but high praise for the man ever. So, and I'm sure that my admiration will be used against him, and he has my apologies.
Italy looks in a world of trouble here. Not getting Tunis probably ever, and is going to lose Naples.
Well, that's what you'd expect. We've looked ahead. We're cheating. So we know the future, but it's looking very, very bad. It's looking very, very bad for England. It's looking very, very bad for Italy. Austria is in a beautiful, beautiful way, because even though Russia's doing okay, Russia is fully occupied with everything that's north of Sev, including Sev Ukraine. So Austria's got a free pass in this game. I mean, I don't know if Spencer arranges this diplomatically, but his position is beautiful, beautiful.
I think. Yeah, I think England and Italy are gonna. Well, Italy's on the way out. England is in trouble, and Turkey's probably not going to be far behind.
Well, look what Germany just did. He completely bypassed Sweden, moved to Skagerrak and Denmark. Yeah, he's got a build coming for Belgium, probably be a fleet keel. England's going to have it in a bad way. Let's see how it goes. Army Berlin. Russia's not feeling that. He's feeling unloved. France has a free pass on Naples and Tunis this year. I mean, that is powerful, powerful stuff. Austria just dropped down 2 more armies. Also powerful stuff. If I were him, he couldn't have. No, the builds were in Vienna and Budapest. He didn't have the option to build it in Trieste, so he did the best he could with what he had, and you can't fault what he decided to do. So the Army Berlin is a little bit of a surprise after a move to Denmark and Skagerrak. That's pretty shocking.
Yeah, Fleet Keel would have been the obvious one here, right?
That is what I expected. Turkey, who lost Bulgaria, disbanded Army Armenia. He's going into pure defense mode. So
yeah, but defense primarily against Russia, right?
I mean, if he wanted to hurt Russia, he'd have left the army in Armenia. He's trying to defend against all 3 at this point. You know, you would think that at this point Turkey would be writing love letters to Italy. They ought to be able to patch things up, but we'll see. If France is there at Austria's request, Greece might be bouncing Aegean out of Ionian this turn. So, yeah, I don't know though. Germany building Army Berlin. I don't know that he can go after Warsaw with France sitting in Burgundy like that. I don't see that at all. He really can't go after Warsaw anyway, because Russia's got 2 armies there with nothing better to do than defend Warsaw. Let's move forward to Spring 03, see what he does with those armies. Maybe Ruhr and Munich. Nope. Didn't see that coming though. Skag supports Russia to Norway. Wow. Now that's going to give him the 3 units that he needs. To take North Sea.
Yeah.
And Germany's getting that for free because England retreats to Barents. So
that was the only retreat
England
option.
can take Norway back. I mean, what a blast. Germany got, I tell you what, the West is real fun on this map. France and England
London to Belgium.
And kick Germany out of Belgium. This is a lot of fun. Italy saw what I predicted coming up, the whole idea that Greece could bounce them out of Ionian, wrote a different deal, told Pez, hey, don't take my dot. Let's get your units as far forward as possible. France is in Ionian Sea in spring 1903.
Yeah, bypasses the boot.
Wow.
France is looking good. Austria is looking good. Russia's looking pretty good.
And Austria just created as big a DMZ as possible between himself and Russia. He really doesn't have a shot at Romania.
Bulgaria is going to be protected now by Budapest to Serbia. And Greece is protected.
Greece is going to be supported by Albania. Fascinating stuff. Let's see what goes next. Oh, Germany steals Sweden. Ow. He kind of had to. He just
That
lost
must have been
belts.
arranged. That must
He
have been
didn't want
part
to
of the
go
deal.
down. He didn't want to go down, so he had to do that. He did help Russia keep Norway. He did help Russia keep Norway.
Oh, Burgundy offered support for Tyrolia to Munich, and
Why was Norway not dislodged? Show the orders. That's 3-2. So someone wrote a misorder.
Norwegian support north to Norway. North to Norway. What does
St.
Barents
Pete's and
do?
Skaggs
Barents
both supported Norway, so it's 3-3. 3-3. Okay. And then Germany stole Sweden. Ha! Wow. Yeah.
Look at this though. Ukraine to Galicia, Moscow to Ukraine. I wouldn't be very happy if I were Tarsier.
Well, let's remember, Russia didn't know he was getting stabbed. He thought he was building one for Norway.
Ah, well, but look at that. Romania to Bulgaria.
Maybe he thought, but wow, maybe Sabine thought they were pulling a coup. Maybe they thought they were getting Norway and Bulgaria. Maybe they thought they were getting Norway
dropping
and
down
Bulgaria.
two armies, so getting out of those centers and getting into Galicia.
Paz wasted so. I mean, look at what he did, getting all the way down to Tunis and Ionian and Spring
Tunis
03.
to Wes?
And then he moved out to get
Why?
no bills. Why? It's a neutral center. It's a neutral center. He wouldn't have been hurting nobody to take that. And that
be scary.
A fleet built in Brest can get wherever that fleet is going just as quickly as that fleet in Tunis could get there itself. He should have kept that dot. Even if he intended to give it to Italy later, he should have took that dot. He should have took that dot.
Yeah, because surely he couldn't have thought that he was getting Greece here.
And that waste of Ionian to Greece, he had to know that wasn't going to work. Albania had nothing else to do but to support Greece. Serbia didn't need any support. If he wasn't going to take Naples with that fleet in Ionian Sea, he should have sent it to Adriatic. I can't agree with these moves. As much as I like David, I cannot agree with these moves.
Yeah.
If he wasn't going to take Naples here, he needed to bop up to Adriatic where he could actually have an impact on things. The only reason to stay in Ionian is if you want to take Naples later, because Italy is never going to build. But by moving away from Tunis, he's telecasting that he's got some other intention going on. I wonder if he forgot it was a fall move. I don't know.
Really curious.
I think that was a fatal mistake. I think
maybe it's one of these things where he doesn't want to get too big too soon, but I don't think that he's really a great threat.
Look at it this way, though. He's already in Ionian Sea. Say he didn't take Naples. Say he stayed in Ionian Sea. Italy's got no build coming ever. So he could have taken Tunis and then built in Brest and then gone after England full bore because England is fully invested in the north, trying to protect his butt against Russia. And he's got a disband coming. I'm sure it'll be. He doesn't have a disband coming because there was a pop.
Yeah. In
England
Belgium
has no backfield now. Boy, this game might have been Pez's to lose right here, and he made the decision to lose it. So you'll see that sometimes. Pez does that sometimes in these tournaments and stuff, where he's doing the administrating and he's doing the running. He doesn't want to advance. He just wants his tournament to go well. He may have said, "Wow, I don't want to advance out of this." I'm trying to look for a reason why he would have done this, and I'm struggling.
Maybe thinks if he gets through to the final, he'll be out first, like it was last time. Let's have a look at the.
Let's see if Sabine carries through with attacking Austria some more. Yup.
Yeah. So walks into Budapest and Austria don't try and cover it. Austria again to be hits Bulgaria. This time Italy. So is this Turkey, Italy, and France all working against Austria here together.
Well, it is definitely Turkey, Russia. It is definitely Turkey, Russia, Italy, and France all working against Austria. But were they doing it together? I don't think so. I think there was a little bit of chaos here. I think there was a little bit of chaos.
Given that Wales has just wandered into MAO, I wouldn't be very happy if I were England. However, England just had Barents popped, so we'll build unless. But then, I don't understand what that is for, because Pez is still supporting Messi in Belgium. I don't understand. Is he about to stab England? Was that the intention? I'm not sure.
I had a hard time telling the difference between England and Germany there. That's an English unit. So England is still at 4. He's still in Belgium.
Barents has just been popped by Russia. I don't understand what the French fleets are doing.
A lot of wasted moves down there bouncing against Greece for no purpose. You know, that move into Budapest really doesn't hurt that much, because Tyrolia can cover Vienna. Serbia can support Trieste to Budapest. Trieste to Budapest. Albania can cover Trieste. The bigger issue there, at first blush, you'd think that, okay, Austria just lost Bulgaria. Now he's going to lose Greece as well. I mean, when you're Austria and you're getting attacked not by Russia, Italy, Turkey, when you're getting attacked by Russia, Italy, Turkey, and France, let's look at the magical rabbit that Spencer pulls out of the orifice of his choice. Let's move it forward.
Nicely put.
Been using that one for years.
Well,
diplomatic
Budapest
solution.
walks out. Budapest walks out. Sabine decides not to take that center.
Supports him back into ball.
Help him back into ball. But Greece departs because he walks into the open Aegean, and Bulgaria retreats into Greece.
But David took Tunis.
Took Tunis. But he's also in the English Channel.
He didn't go for the soft back door. He didn't go for Liverpool. Huh.
Well, there's about to be an army built within Liverpool, presumably.
Okay, fair.
Although there wouldn't have been had he have taken Belgium, I suppose. But
if you look, show the orders. I think everybody's supporting Belgium.
I think only.
Well, either Holland supported Belgium or Belgium supported Holland. Belgium supported North to Holland.
North to Holland, yeah.
And Holland held. Okay.
Yeah. So what?
So France could have taken Belgium.
If this was a genuine stab from Sabi on Spencer, what is the deal here? Because
we'll never know. We'll never know. There was obviously a lot of diplomacy went on, a whole lot.
Argument. Oh well, you're not going to get anything because Turkey is going to become massive. I don't know.
I think Austria had a lot more success here than they were anticipating for Greece, and left it available as a retreat for Germany. Germany had a popped unit. Now he's going to get Greece. Now he's going to build for it.
Turkey.
Yeah. They'll turn around and lose Greece. But he's going to get a build for it right now. That's going to help him set up his defenses and give him a chance of lasting longer. Let's see. Anything else? No, let's go.
Army Con. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's got to be an Army Con. Yeah. Gotta be
Brest. Army Liverpool.
Yeah. England sees the writing on the wall. Greece is going to go away.
Italy helps out Turkey there by hitting a G.
If I were Turkey here, I would have done black to rum, Khan supports Greece to bull, arm to Sev.
Yeah, because Greece is on borrowed time here. You want to have your units near each other, don't you? Consolidate them.
Yeah. But I mean, the chaos moves on, right? Because Italy went back and cut a G. Turkey did not get dislodged there. Turkey did not get dislodged there. But now Albania or Serbia supports Albania to Greece, and Aegean to Ionian. That's a guaranteed take. That's a guaranteed take. So, you know, the other cutesy move here that you could consider doing, if you think that Turkey is so front focused, could convoy Bulgaria down to Smyrna and break his back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I suppose in that case you'd want Black Sea supporting Greece to Bulgaria, but only if you see it coming. There is a convoy in the west, Holland to Yorkshire, but it's bounced out by Liverpool. Belgium moves. Belgium goes to Ruhr.
Germany stabbing France.
Well, I don't think they've been pally, but
does the attack on now? What are those French orders there in English Channel and Picardy? What are they supporting?
Belgium, I think. Belgium hold.
Here, let me put the cat.
But it doesn't hold.
Let me put the cat down. I'm an animal lover. You can tell.
Who's this?
This is Apollo.
Hi, Apollo. Is Apollo
because he's black and white, like an Apollo rocket booster from the moon missions. So
is this the little one that wasn't well yesterday?
No, that was Annabelle. Annabelle's a Maine Coon. You don't know what a Maine Coon is. You guys don't have Maine Coon cats in Britain. It's a big old cat. It's the size of a dog. I'll show you Maine Coons later. Anyway, no Apollo. No. So it's a chaotic board. It's chaotic in the East and in the West. And I think that's a secret of Spencer's success. It stays chaotic in the East, stays chaotic in the West. And he manages somehow to keep things going such that he just kind of holds out in the middle till everyone else ultimately in the end gives up. He's getting kicked out of Tyrolia right now.
Yeah. I'm really impressed with Italy's diplomacy here, because I didn't think it'd still be around in 1905, and yet good chance of growing here.
But Sabi, fascinating that Sabi is making the choices that they're making. Sabi is a six-center Russia who has units in Bohemia and in North Atlantic. Doesn't own a single German dot. Doesn't own Sweden. Doesn't own anything in the Balkans outside of Romania. And they're out there in Bohemia and North Atlantic. That's the definition of overextended. That's not going to pay.
Spread.
That's not going to pay. Let's move forward. Belgium. Look at Belgium. X marks the spot, baby. That's beautiful. That is truly beautiful. Wow. And Liverpool and London bounces York. Mayo bounces Liverpool. Wow. That is fascinating stuff. And Pez is pinned. You say, well, why didn't Pez move up into Irish Sea? He can't, because he knows Sabi, and Sabi obviously likes to get those units as far advanced as they can. And if they knew Nao was going to be available, they'd go take it. So Pez is kind of pinned. So look what Italy and Turkey do to Austria. Austria knows he's got to put 2 on Trieste. What do? Austria supports him into Trieste so that Turkey can move up into Albania. Serbia is down into Greece. So now Italy, Turkey, you've got a 3-on-2 in Trieste.
And they've got 2-on-1 in Smyrna.
Aegean to Smyrna. And Pez held with that fleet too. Continuing questionable moves by Pez. Continuing. I wouldn't have done it like that.
Very slow playing this, isn't he?
If he were going to do anything, if he were not going to send that back to the front where France usually uses his fleets, he should have sent it to Ionian. He could have done, by sitting in Tunis, all it does is defend Tunis. he can defend Tunis from Ionian. Even if Italy moves to Tyrrhenian, Ionian can just fall back to Tunis. So there must have been diplomacy to it. But yeah, I think the AR is solidly back on track. I think the AR is solidly back on track.
Yeah.
Turkey, they just broke his back. Just broke his back. Let's move on.
Yeah, Albania's great, but not if you're pulling 2. You're in Albania. There you go. Keep him.
He didn't really have a choice there. I can't blame him for that. I can't blame him. I mean,
when you've got a fleet in Smyrna, you're well defensible, really.
If that had been a spring move, it would have been very, very interesting. But because it was a fall move, it's just disaster. Just disaster. It's an interesting position for Italy, though, because Venice and Tyrolia, that's solid. You're not going to. Well, you got Russia and Bohemia, which is unusual. So, he can lose Tyrolia, fall back to Piedmont. Piedmont and Venice can hold all game. Austria can't build another fleet while he's sitting there in Trieste. As long as France stays on sides, he can maintain that position until the game ends.
Yeah. How often do you see Fleet Smyrna? I don't think I've. An Austrian fleet in Smyrna. It's not something I've seen that often. I don't think.
You see it. Not that often. Usually, Smyrna falls after Cannes. If Smyrna falls first, it's usually to Italy.
Yeah.
That's a little bit unusual, but it wasn't that. We saw how it happened. He was juggling rocks, and he dropped one. He was overextended and had too many units and too many holes to plug. Too few units.
He should have done what you said earlier, which was pull Greece back into Bulgaria.
Yeah. Then this wouldn't have happened. So Austria gets the belt for Budapest. He's now at 7. And usually when Austria is at 7, it's either Rome or Venice. This is kind of gut shot. But look what's going to happen. Russia's going to force Black Sea, and he's going to force Khan. And then they're going to put Russia in Ankara. Turkey's dead right now. And now Austria and Russia, between them as allies, have got 3, 7, 10, 14, 15 dots under their alliance. Very, very solid. But
I mean, Aegean will assist, but it's not. I don't know how.
No, Aegean needs to go back home because the Turkish front is over. If Aegean's going to hang around, the only thing that makes any sense is cut support and try and keep Turkey alive longer. Go to Bulgaria, go to Smyrna, one or the other, flip a coin. But if he's smart, he's probably going to go ahead and go home. Let's see what he does.
So if you're pairs here, do you think, right, Italy, that front is over, Italy is no longer any use to me to deal with that corner, I'll move to Tyrrhenian and Wales or something?
Well, it would depend on diplomacy. If Italy's going to pull Aegean back to Ionian, then there's no point to stab Italy right now because you're not going to get anything from it. If he goes for Ionian and you go for Ionian, it's a bounce. If he goes for Ionian and you go for Tyrrhenian, you just got to cover Tunis.
Yeah.
So it depends on diplomacy. If you can talk Italy into continuing to overextend himself forward, yeah, you can go steal a dot. But all you're going to steal is Naples. And then Italy's going to come roaring back, trying to take it all back from you and abandon its front with Austria in the process. And now you'd be staring at a 10-center Austria.
Okay,
Pez is kind of stuck helping Italy at this point.
Let's have a look. He does go into Ionian this time, and Germany gets into Belgium.
But Munich supports Bohemia and Tyrolia. That's the most interesting move on the board. The only reason for the Y is get him out of my hair. But you see, Norway also supports Denmark to north, creates a bounce. And NATO supports North Norwegian. That's mildly interesting. That's mildly interesting. So France and Germany are still allied. Russia apparently is not mad about Sweden. I wouldn't be surprised if Sabi tries to take Sweden now.
Looking a bit better for Austria down in the south.
Looks like Ruhr got popped last season, so now Germany's got the 3-on-2 advantage and picking up Belgium. So
yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if in the fall we see Pez take Naples. Yeah, he's gone too long without a build. He's gone too long without a build. That makes a little bit of sense. He's going to regret it. Now I guess he has to bring Mayo back south.
Yeah, and he's in North Sea.
Talks about a Burgundy. He doesn't get to build Fleet Marseille for his troubles. He's not going to get everything that he'd hoped to get out of opening this front against Italy. I think this is going to work very much to it's going to work to Austria's advantage, because look what Austria did. Austria now turned on Russia.
Oh yes, So Sabi was expecting support into
Con. Sure.
Didn't get it. Lost Rome.
Sure, that's the payoff. Except this is diplomacy, and sometimes the payoff is a knife in the back.
And okay, so this is
Tarsier popped Rom. Okay. Russia has no builds, and he just walked into Galicia, and the nearest army is in Sev. A build in Budapest. So he's now going to take Warsaw, bop up to Ukraine, and bring Budapest down to Rom. Brilliant. Just brilliant.
Brilliant. And there's no if Turkey wanted to help, which is questionable anyway, that they can't, because they've left Con. So
but Turkey and Russia can work together to keep Austria from advancing over there, because there's nothing else for Black to do but to support Ankh Khan next year. Why not? A little bit of penance and payback. That's the best combo in the diplomacy world, when you can give payback and get penance at the same time.
This looks like a nice stab. Yeah, and this is the end of 1906. It could be over in 1909.
This is the kind of stab that happens to a player that is overly enthusiastic about their alliance, and they get overextended.
Yeah.
If that army in Tyrolia was still in Galicia or Ukraine, Austria would have never been in a position to do this.
Yeah.
So,
units in Norwegian.
If you look, I wonder if Italy was playing games or if that was a misorder, because Sabi tried to stab Spencer as well. Tyrolia to Trieste. Venice supports Vienna to Trieste. I wonder if that was a typo too. It might have been a misorder.
Maybe there was supposed to be some sort of. Oh no, I don't know.
I wonder if it was supposed to be Venice supports Tyrolia to Trieste.
Maybe, but
maybe Venice supports Tyrolia to Trieste is what was promised. And this was got together, and that isn't really a misorder. It's an oops. Maybe Austria and Italy got together and planned it.
I think this was supposed to be Trieste to, I don't know, Budapest, let's say. Vienna and Tyrolia bounce in Trieste to open up Trieste for a fleet build.
Austria wouldn't have had a build coming, but for Rom. Russia wouldn't have made any plans with Austria in reliance on an Austrian build.
Oh, well, Rum left. So was this maybe this was maybe the Rum bit was by agreement for a fleet build in Trieste. Italy read that to try and was trying to stop that from happening, but Tarsier used this as an opportunity to make sure that the fleet was blown up.
Possible. They didn't get Khan. In terms of, hey, look, you're getting Khan. You're getting Khan. That fleet rum is worthless. Let's get it out of there. I need a fleet build. It's possible.
Well, no, Romania tried to go to Sev anyway. Although maybe that was just a cover from Armenia. But yeah. But yeah, nicely done. Shall we move ahead?
Sabi isn't. Go back. So with Rum going to Sev, yeah, Sabi was playing the dutiful ally here, and they were looking to get Khan and still have only be at 6, getting no builds. You got to demand equity from your ally. I don't agree with that at all. So that would have been no builds and still stuck with a fleet in Sev. And instead of that, which would have been bad enough, Spencer gave him the shiv. And there he is up in Neo getting nothing for his trouble, helping other players do well.
Yeah.
Very, very questionable. Very, very questionable. Well, Liverpool falls now. No, because now you got France. Now you got France maybe siding with England. Huh. Let's see what happens in the spring.
What do you think about Army Berlin? Is that there to help, or is that there to take what it can get off a ailing Russia now? Or maybe it's going to go down to Sil.
Where is Russia's 6th unit? Is Russia playing short?
No, Russia's on 5.
Because they lost Rum. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, Russia isn't that unhealthy. Look at the supply center count. There's not that big a division. You know, the board top is only 8. So
it's pretty open though.
They're so spread out and they're hollow and they're empty in the middle. I think Germany's going to go take Warsaw. Let's go see.
Best thing they can hope for is Tyrolian to get popped.
I'd send Tyrolian to Munich right now and say, you want to go for Warsaw? It's going to cost you.
Didn't. Would have got in.
Munich to Kiel, huh? Really?
Clyde doesn't go to Liverpool, although Mao cut now anyway.
So Russia and Turkey do exactly what I just said, which is supports Hank into Khan. Russia said Sev back to Moscow to have the chance to cover Warsaw in the fall. So it looks like France, Russia, and Turkey and Italy trying to hold off Austria and Germany.
Yeah, I'm struggling with the lines now because France has turned on England. France bounces England out of the channel and attempts to convoy Holland to Yorkshire. So it looks like everyone's turning on Russia, apart from Turkey, who supports South.
Turkey was kind of asking to get turned against here for sure. They're basically nothing but Austrian auxiliary. Go to fall.
Here we go. The takedown of Russia.
Wow.
Loses Norway, loses Sevastopol, loses Warsaw, has Austrian armies in Galicia and Budapest. Does walk into an open Munich though. Wow. Couldn't even get Turkey to defend themselves against Austria.
Well, what's funny is Turkey could hold that army in Khan off for quite a while because Smyrna can't support an attack on Ankh. So now,
if Black Sea gets pulled,
Smyrna's got to pull Aegean out and then send Khan down to Smyrna. You know, and I mean that could take a good 1.5 to 2 years to pull that off properly if Turkey defends against it. But yeah, that's a bad.
He could have been building
to give up Khan so you can put a fleet in Sev. That's a bad trade.
Turkey could have been building.
Bad trade
because they had support there from Black Sea.
Yeah,
could have done both. You might make an enemy, but you know you've got to do something because they're going to die otherwise.
Well, it's 1907 and you're at 2. You're already dead.
Yeah, Turkey. I don't know.
You know, England deserves a tip of the hat. Messi is still in possession of all 3 of his home centers. And he has been under the gun all game.
With the same units in the same positions as you start with.
Mad respect. Mad respect. I'm still not sure what's going on with Munich to Kiel. I guess Denmark had to cover against France in North Sea, eh? So I'm really surprised that he didn't try and defend Munich.
I am actually.
That may be the last that Munich or Berlin may end up being the last center that Sevilla owns. Let's see what goes on. Let's move forward.
Maybe Sevilla's happy to throw to, I don't know.
Who they throw it to?
I don't know. But Austria still have the ball top by 1. Norwegian and NAO come off the board. Army Budapest. So this looks like a 3-way fight now between Austria, Germany, and France.
If France keeps England on side, he's got a very strong position against Germany that can last forever. So this really is Austria's board to take all over the place. All over the place.
Space to grow, because this
and
should all
still
become...
sitting down there in Naples. Still sitting down there in Naples. Wow.
That's a good unit to have there, because Austria is going to struggle to take control of Ionian.
Well, Austria still can't get a second fleet built. So I think it's interesting that with everything that's going on, Russia kept the fleet in black.
Yeah.
All right, let's move forward. Spencer is the beneficiary of a failure to communicate. He left Rum unsupported, and Russia and Turkey both went for it. Neither one supported the other end.
Maybe they just couldn't get on board with the history they've had in this game.
Russia supported Germany to hold in Warsaw. Germany thought he should be cutting Ukraine. I think supporting Warsaw was the better, smarter move. Turkey did what I did there, Ankara to Smyrna to bounce Khan out, but really not going to make any difference, because now Aegean could just support Khan to Smyrna. So the move next turn is to order Anctus Khan to bounce Bull out. Make that take as long as possible. Russia, if Russia could have supported him into Ankara, then he could have put himself in a position where he had to be the one to cover Ankh. The bounce in Rum is unfortunate for Russia and Turkey. That's like the end. That's the insult to injury of a long, frustrating game. Look at this. England pops Clyde.
Is that a German?
While Mayo moves to Nao, and Eddie supports Liverpool to Clyde. Wow. That EF is really putting it to Germany. Putting it to Germany.
I think Germany.
Granted, Austria is the bigger threat, but it's very easy. If you're all wrapped up in the West, it's very easy to not look at the East and see how well Austria is doing.
Yeah, I think it's between France and Austria now. Germany's going to struggle now, especially if it was to finish.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's go.
Early as it could. Loses Belgium. Look at that. This is good from the EF as well. The forward retreat from North Sea. So North Sea had a go at Holland. That didn't work, but because the French fleet was forced out of North Sea by England, there's the forward retreat into Norway. That's
getting maximum use out of your units. That is acknowledging Sweden's going to cover Denmark. I could bounce Russia. I could bounce Germany out of Norway, or I could go ahead and let him go to Norway. If he goes to Norway and England dislodges me, then I can either go to Norway if it's open, or I can retreat to Skag if he covers Norway. Really, really smart use of your units.
Or
really
Denmark if Sweden goes there.
So Pez did make a run at Rome, and Italy sniffed it out, bounced him. So
meanwhile, look at Russia and Austria making friends again. They get one each, and Turkey.
Sevilla is throwing the game at this point.
I mean, it's one each there, but Germany is as well. Look, Germany moves out of Warsaw to let Austria in to punish France. for the whatever they're not happy about in the West, or at least that's what it looks like to me.
I've got Supply Center count at 10-8. Advance to winner.
11-9.
11-9. Oops. 11-9.
So it's 2.
And
this could be the final year coming forward.
And so now, well, Austria's still got that problem. Still can't take Akara. Because he's got to move Khan down. So yeah, he's a year away from being able to take Ankara. But look at all these spare units now.
Well, here's the thing. I think only England and France want France to win. I think everyone else is happy for Austria to win. I think Sabine would have wanted Germany to win, but I think that's gone. But Germany wants to punish France by the looks of it. But yeah, Austria 2 ahead at this point.
2 ahead, and a Russian ally is every bit as good as an English ally. I give the advantage to Austria. Did this game end in a draw vote, or did it end early based on the draw? Do you know?
I think it was the draw vote. I couldn't see confirmation.
A draw vote or the stock number?
I think it was a vote. I think it was a positive vote. They were talking. They were certainly talking about a vote just before it finished.
Okay. All right. That would make sense because Austria's got so many free units now, and he's got nothing to do.
Well, in fact, here it is. It must be because it wouldn't have finished until winter 1909. So there we go.
They voted the draw. I think Pez was maybe a little bit premature here. I think Pez had some. I think Pez had an opportunity to move forward on this.
I don't know. I think Germany didn't want France to win, and I think Russia at this point wanted whatever Germany wanted. And
I would hope that what Russia would want is survival, at least defend Moscow to hold, and as long. I wouldn't have voted for a draw in this position if I was Pez. I would have made him play another season or two, and then probably ended up voting the draw anyway.
Yeah, may as well. But also, I suppose there's a risk that you start losing stuff if everybody is that annoyed at you.
No one is in any position to take anything from Pez whatsoever, except for maybe Norway. Nah, I'd have kept playing. Pez is a real gentleman of the game, and his main goal is for other people to have fun on his server. So I think by the time he got to this point in the game, with that goal in mind of other people to have fun on his server, I think he felt that his work here was done. That's all I can reason. So excellent game by Spencer. Interesting game by Sabi to be scattered all over the board.
Adventurous, hey.
And to still manage to not pay for it too terribly badly. So fascinating. I think Sabi had a lot of fun playing this game. So good game for everybody. Yeah. All right. Hey, let's wrap this one up.
And only the one elimination, and that was quite late into the game as well.
I want to point out a commonality in this game that we've seen in a lot of these semifinal games that were won by our finals players. Very, very little serious threat against Spencer at any point in this game. Very, very little.
Yeah, the one thing was actually from Sabi.
Turn around and walk back out.
Yeah.
So all of these guys are really good at defending their six with their mouth. And that's a serious skill in this game. It's a skill I don't have. So good on them. Very well done. Very well done.